How about we go on ahead and get everything pre-Stormblood taken care of? Oh, where's Hoary Boulder? Tidings from Garabania. Tataru has a request for you. Throat, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Okay. Sure, why not? Oh, there's Hoary Boulder. Never mind. So many level 50 dungeon quests that I have breadcrumbs in there. Diamond Forge is, yeah, right there. Gotta go in here, it looks like. Yeah. Alright, so, why do you want me to wait in here, Tataru? Do you have something you want to discuss? Or something? Sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Okay. Oh great, I'm getting jumped. Alright everyone, ready to go to work? No squirming now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. Oh, great. If you wanted to take my measurement... You know, if you wanted to take my measurements, you could have just asked. I would have been more than happy to... Is it too late to file a restraining order? Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Throat. All in good time. You could have just said you wanted to make me an outfit, and I would have let you take my measurements. You didn't need the mob to hold me down. Alphino wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting. They seemed all too gung-ho to help get the Warrior of Light's measurements. Feels nice to have everyone back in the same room.
Anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Orianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
Screw this game. They threw politics into
I did
it.
not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede he might struggle to balance his new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Oh. Why is everyone
Frankfurt makes
looking
a
at
good
me?
point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, you're... Help! I need some help here!
That didn't sound good.
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Yashola! Please, you have to help her!
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
From the Resistance, I think.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
You look like crap.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin.
Oh, good.
He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
Let me guess, he's summoning a primal?
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
What?
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours.
Let me guess, Ida and Papalima are gonna go to Gridania?
Alphino and Alize, make haste to the 12's Wood
Okay,
and
that's
notify the
different.
Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She would duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emmerich, and encourage him to send an envoy.
Do I have to?
Tataru, Krile, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
Do I really have to see Sir Emmerich? He gives me creepy bedroom eyes every time I'm in his presence.
the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice.
Why is Papalymo narrating this?
'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Hang on a second. It was a little crooked. I had to correct it. Papalymo, please don't do anything reckless. Oh, that would actually just take me outside. I actually wanted to do this. Alright, so ascending to the Imperium, towards the firmament. Those have nothing to do with what I need to do. Oh, wait. Foundation. Knights Most Heavenly. Right. Hey, Lucia. How are you doing? Greetings, Warrior of Light. What business brings you to Ishgard? I see. Wait here. I'll summon Sir Emmerich. No, please, take your time. Take your time. You don't need to bring him down right away. Please. Hi, Emmerich. It is good to see you, my friend. 'Tis but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would have certainly sent for some wine. Back to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Alamiga to our attention. Ishgard will of course send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of the full assembly, but I will still need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? Yes, yes, please. I thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handelope that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Throat, pray accompany Lucia to the gates of judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Fury speed you on your way. So you're to be the envoy, eh? If you have no other business in the city, join me at the gates of judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. Oh, okay. I guess we're escorting the envoy. Alright, to the gates of judgment then. Seems like the room would be the quickest. No, the quickest way would actually be here, since I don't have to zigzag around stairs or anything like that. What's my item level? 270. Yep, I've got 270 gear. Across the board. What about my red mage? 253. Yeah, I'll just pick up gear as I go along in the next expansion. Yeah, okay. I gotta wait on the other side. We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. Not I concede that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it's my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's Book of Statutes. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in Blackshroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. Alright, quick detour, and then we're heading into the forest. Okay, it's not that far. Teleporting would be pointless. Alright, well, I guess he got picked to be the representative. Seems like the best, fit. Garrison Commander waits within. Why not accompany me, Throat? You may see a familiar face. Oh god, is it who I think it's gonna be? Oh god. You're making him commander of the garrison? Throat, oh boy, how wonderful to see you, and Sir Emmer too. To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures? I will have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you'll excuse. Nay, do not trouble yourself, Fauntleroy. We shall be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. Blah blah, blah 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 blah, blah blah, blah blah, blah blah, Gridania. Those villains hardly need any excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to a Garl. I mean to an Imperial. Garlean, okay, was... And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you... Oh, I get why he corrected himself, because Lucy is a Garlean. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel and the Observatorium. I see, you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. Surprised to see you're truly at the helm. Not gonna lie, yeah, I am. You and me both, old boy. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. You'll never be a discount Haurchefant. Yet we can but play the hand we're dealt, and with a little help from the veterans and Hornwar's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So worry not, old boy. Off to Gridania with you. Although admittedly, you seem to be handling yourself a lot better than I thought when we came in. That camera quality is really good. Hold on a second. Yeah, that is full cam. God, I am impressed. I decided to spring for the paid version because it was only $8. Teleport. Gridania. Blackshroud. Wow. I was looking for Gridania, not Blackshroud. Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that as I am as enraptured by the Blackshroud's beauty now as when I first laid eyes upon it. I fear this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. Alright, so some food or a piece of silver. Probably take the silver. It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand. Pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? Alright, Nothica's Altar, which is near the Conjurer's Guild. Which means I'm going this way. Ethernet, Old Gridania, you. And they still got here before I did. The envoy from Ishgard has arrived. Very good. This way, if you please. Ah, the Lumenson party as well. Ah, we were not the last to arrive then. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Emmerich. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Throat, I trust you are well. 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe we are well acquainted with my escort. Ah, Yagiri! Master Throat, I was glad to hear from Riel that the missing scions have now been found. There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people, too, would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed?
And I'm just
then let us
standing
make
here.
ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
And I'm just standing here, just watching it all unfold. Also, I probably could have just waited outside. You guys didn't need me to be here.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defenses seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
Who knows what the Griffin is planning? But we gotta act on what knowledge we have. That the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings are prove unfounded. Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I fear I had missed you. Sir Emmerich! Master Alphino, a pleasure as always. And Mr. Salise, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Throat for serving as our escort before our duties called him away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Oh, you were just there. Forgive me, my lord, but I was awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mr. Sugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seatseer to accept us both. I very much appreciate the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Emmerich. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with the simple Sawyer, thank you. Must these politicians skip the dialogue? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Do you want to get slapped, Alphino? Do you know what she's capable of? Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded, and we should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Soul, Yugiri? Actually, I think I shall pay a brief visit to the East Shroud. I'm curious to know how Papalimo and Yida fared in their talks with the Sylphs, not to mention what has been going on at Baelsar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. Let's be on our way then. Back to Revenant's Toll. Wait, what am I doing? My return spell is set there. Okay. Welcome back, Throat. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all the talking's over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome just to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I'll ever feel at home in the realm of politics. You're a woman of action. Your place is probably on the battlefield. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother's willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Griffin on the wall. Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Let's head in. Ah, you were returned from the council, but what of Alphino? Did some other matter require his attention? Mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, Kral. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Kral, how's Naga doing? Well, she will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tatara's keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I'm certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would share with us the Council's decision? Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. Didn't have a lot of breath for that sentence. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you cannot seriously. One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there were some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Baelsar's wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I'm familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared the shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. You just want to hit on her, don't ya? You learned a little bit about the conclusion of the Dragon Song. Yeah, anyway. Got a little taste for dragon in ya? 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kral and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, Leviers? I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worst, it would seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail you to accompany me, Throat? Gridania would be safer for your presence, and while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. Thus we are rushed off to our respective tasks. If you have any unfinished business in the toll, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorne Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of Baelsar's wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Sounds like a no turning back sort of situation. Well, I'm no ninja, but I did spend some few moons in the Sharlayan homeland learning how to move unseen. Between Yugiri and my humble self, Ida and Papalima will be well protected. My fellow shinobi required little encouragement to take their place amongst the Alliance forces amassing at Gridania. They are most eager to cross blades with the armies of Garlemald once more. So yeah, it sounds like a no turning back sort of thing, and I gotta head over to East Shroud. Actually, let me see what the reward is. Another brick in the wall? Ah, Throat, there you are. Come. Amara Syax awaits. Amara Syax Spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Fancy meeting the two of you here. We were about to set forth. Indeed, I was about to say 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alphino. We'll have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Yida. Nary a moment ago, you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So, which is it to be? 'Twould be best to decide before we entered into negotiations. Trust me, Papalimo. I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let us be on our way, shall we? Some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. To the wall! Oh, that wasn't as far as I thought it'd be. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you're here to speak with our commanding officers. You will find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Woodwallers, the serpents. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind him why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the grand melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say what an honor it is to stand at your side. 'Tis heartening to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Until now. Good timing. Report. What? 7 hells! Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault! So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has. And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible! We gave no such order! Of course, the wall was never the Griffin's target. It was the bait. We've been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin's supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace with which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Throat, we must make for the wall at once. What, just the two of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Oh, wow. He's walking with them. Forward, comrades! The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost. They snuck some uniforms out, didn't they? Oh, now it looks normal. Oops, I meant to do this. Okay. From what Papalima told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight ways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way. But the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reason by any means necessary. Oh, so I get to kick his ass! Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all the way to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. Baelsar's Wall, now accessible. The final dungeon for patch 3.5 for pre-Stormblood. And now we wait. Hey, it's ready. Headphones on. And let's go. Save the rest of this Pop-Tart for later then. Seems we got a Dark Knight as our tank. Everything all right? Oops. I hit the wrong ability first. There we go, that's what I meant to do. They have combat bears. Okay, good. Let's get that key and keep going. Oh. Oh god, it's tethered to me, isn't it? There we go. Security terminal, open up, please. Alright, I gotta hit it with this to refresh my thing. Go. Wrong combination. I think I wanted 132. There it is. Oh god, I'm being targeted? Might want to get over here then. Oh, okay. Being targeted one at a time. Oh, good. Okay. Bracelet of healing. Pass. Oh, well, that's not gonna work. So many bright lights, oh god! Well, there goes that. God dang it. Wanted 132, not 231. I'm gonna get those confused. Ring of aiming. Pass. Oh. Go for the AoE combo. Oh god, even more of them. Alright, is that the last of them? No, of course not. Why wouldn't it be? Alright. Ow. Oh, cool. This one's going this way. Ow! What the hell was I supposed to do for that? Action, auto attack, or movement taken after the status ends. Aha! So that's what I had to do. I did not do anything at all. Oh god. There we go. God, that was disorienting on my eyes. It's almost dead though. So we are good. What do we got? Gauntlets of Striking and a Choker of Healing. Can't heal anybody by choking them. Oh, poop. Oh, well. God, so many things to move out of. There we are. That should be the last of it. Get the key and I'll unlock it. Thank you. Poop. Oh wow, that stunned everybody. There we are. Nice. Oh, someone got more loot. I'm just passing on all of it. There we are. Alright, here is the Griffin. We're gonna have to fight him. But let's see. Oh, it's Ilberd.
How'd you like these?
Oh. Look away.
Sloppy. I'll tear you limb from limb. Sloppy. For Alamigo! I have you now.
Oh god. Oh.
How'd you like these? Yeah!
Oh god. Ooh, you really got to stay on your feet. Nice.
Sloppy.
I like the opportunities that allow me to just poof it forward a little bit.
I'll tear you limb from limb. Sloppy. For Alamigo!
Wrong one. Oh well.
I have you now.
Ow.
How'd you like these? Yeah!
Almost got ya. And we got ya. And I got to use my limit break. No joyous celebration for the Warrior of Light. Give it to the healer. And I'll pass. Alright. I think there's a long cutscene now. So let's see.
You've beaten me, aye. But you cannot stop what I've begun. Behold, a glimpse of things to come.
We did it! We showed the bastards!
Aye! Victory is ours!
And who knows, lads? Mayhap the Eorzeans will finally see sense when the enemy turns up on their bloody doorstep.
This is for Alamigo, for Eorzea. They die that others may live.
Vanguards! Attack!
Seven hells. Do you hear that?
Gilbert's sacrificing his own men.
War machines.
How did they get here so quickly?
Stand your ground! For the resistance!
That got a hold of uniforms, didn't they?
There's nowhere to run. We're cut off.
Gods help us! What are we thinking? The Empire's too big. Too powerful. Mighty Ralker, grant us the strength to crush Oh.
There you are.
As you can see, our infiltrators did not elude me for long. Lady Ugiri is sending for an airship even as we speak.
What do we do? This is a massacre!
How wonderful to see you, Commander.
Ill-bird. I should have known. This has to end. It has to end now! Do you not see your countrymen dying? Have your ideals rendered you blind even to that? Order the retreat, and we will help your soldiers to safety.
Retreat? With the moment of my triumph so close at hand? You truly are a sheltered child, Leverrier.
Nidhogg's eyes. No abyss is too deep for you, I see. But trust me when I say that such power was not meant for mortal hands.
How long have I struggled to reach this point? My countrymen, so inured to the taste of defeat, they no longer balk at its bitterness, shouting my throat raw with rallying cries, only to be greeted with dull eyes and blank faces. My brothers and sisters in Ulda have surrendered to their apathy and their appetites. Were it not for the glint of Lodorito's coin, I doubt even those here now would have answered my call. Take back our homeland! Free Alamigo! Ha! They'll happily mouth the words, but they won't spill the blood. You say no mortal should wield these eyes? Then I shall gladly become a demon. I will suckle on the souls of the hopeless and liberate the homeland they no longer deserve.
What exactly do you mean to do?
What do you think he's gonna do?
Did you hear their cries as victory was snatched away from them? Even with their dying breaths, they cursed the Empire. Never has their desire for vengeance been so raw, so true. A god has no need of faith when summoned by so pure a purpose.
Summoned? You cannot mean to fight the Empire with a primal! You know full well the danger, the futility of relying on such power.
Oh yes, I know their limitations. Which is why I will call upon a deity more terrible than the very black worm of the calamity itself.
What? Here? Now?
Like hells you will!
An ending to mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all!
Right bastard to the very end. Oh. Yeah. That doesn't look too oh my god. That's horrifying to see. Oh. Oh, that's answers.
This light, is it...
His death completed the ritual. The primal is taking shape.
Well, can't we stop it? There must be something we can do!
Papalimo.
There is one thing.
Oh god, Papalimo, don't.
What? Hey! Where do you think you're going?
Master Louisoix briefly contained Bahamut by means of a potent spell of sealing. I will now attempt to do the same.
You're just gonna kill yourself. Don't.
But that's impossible! We would need hours to collect the necessary ether, if not days!
Alphino, though I concede it may not always be apparent, I was ever your grandsire's finest pupil.
Tiptimati, of course! The staff still holds enormous power, broken or not.
Don't you dare, Papalimo! I know how that spell works. It is time to leave!
Quite right. Quickly now, off you go! The further away, the better!
No! If you're staying, then so am I!
No, Ida! There is a path only you can walk, and it must not end here, not like this! Take her! Please, you have to take her!
What? No! Damn it, Thancred! Put me down! Thancred!
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you! Go!
You don't have to tell me twice. Trust in Papalimo and leave on the ship. I know what he means to do, and I don't like it one bit. But Lalafels have to trust each other.
Hilda! I think he means now!
I bid thee farewell again, my dear Ida. Now, let us see how good a student I truly was.
Farewell, Papalimo. Yeah. We only just got him back. why. Why didn't they let me stay? Papalymo's my friend. I should have been there with him. You could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing, what had to be done. Master Louis wore that same look right before the end. Don't you think I don't know that? I know, alright, I know. There's nothing more you could have done. Elbert caught us all off guard. Even Throat was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise you'll never forget what Papalymo strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't speak to me. Leave Ida with me. Go on. Go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. You okay, Ida? You gonna be fine? You wanna get McDonald's? Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But Thancred's right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all this. Pray make your way there at once. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others of our imminent return. Hey, good news. There's no more conflict on the wall. Bad news. Twould see me bring ill tidings, brother. Aye, behind the griffin's mask we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilberd. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Nidhogg's, whose dread power he used to initiate the summoning ritual, even as we looked on. By the 12. I don't understand. To attempt such a magic requires every ounce of one's ether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Indeed, if it was ever a last resort, as I'm certain Papalymo was aware. Thus did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilberd came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the sea of clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind-aspected ether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions. Then mayhap it was the work of an Ascian, but now is not the time for idle speculation. Kryl, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light and ascertain the state of the primal trapped within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let us be about it then. What? Without so much as a by your leave? Pray forgive Archon Y'shtola her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of the will to act. A desire to come for Ida doubtless compoundeth her unseemly haste. I too must contend with this grievous loss in mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alice, I shall honor our fallen colleague through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light. Mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would be poor tribute to Papalima's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Zilbert's accursed creation without delay. What time we have was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. Oh, we got an achievement, but that's not the final quest 2.5 of 3.5. With every pre-expansion patch, they split it into 2. So that was 3.5. Now we're taking care of 3.55. The obvious solution. Throat. I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before... Speak of the devil. A communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. The Council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the Primal, of course. As of Yshtola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall, unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seatseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I'm told Sid Garland has been called in to add his expertise to the proceedings. A wise decision. More minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones in Tataru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand. I'm just gonna stay nothing.
A word, if you would, good sir. This place, it is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port. Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Good God, man. Are you all right?
Oh Oh my god. I love this cutscene so much.
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Oh, that is the best character in the expansion, in the next expansion. Bar none. Oh my god. Whew. And you can go into any inn room and watch that cutscene as many times as you want. Oops. Oh. I think that's a good, I think that's the game's way of cheering us up after losing Papalymo. Welcome, Warrior Light. This way, if you please.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
Obviously.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
Probably a wise decision.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon. Of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
But how?
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
Oh.
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanau since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
But let me guess, Nero knows.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity.
Yeah, we know.
And as luck would have it, I'm graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years, studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I.
Oh, is that what you call it? Countrymen. The fandom has another word for that, if you know what I mean.
But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame?
Is that a backhanded compliment?
Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartanau while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
My knives are at the ready in case. No, but I'll keep an eye on him.
As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. but the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. It would seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Carteneau and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
I volunteer.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Carteneau being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
Ooh, can I help?
My blade is yours.
Not a moment's
You
hesitation.
know how to speak to my
You'll
heart.
Forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Alright. Sid's boyfriend gets out of line and I shank him. Well, that was a rather unexpected development. And one which raises a number of questions, not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the Council's meeting in the first place. Also, what kind of tensions reside between Sid and Nero that bed wouldn't fix. Hey, I get a thing. I also got a... Oh, I got 3 orchestral rolls. Wait a minute. Let me learn these real quick. Okay. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Alcé is ready to be on our way, and it would not do to lag too far behind. Let us be off. Also, I like how that cutscene changed because Crystal Tower was taken care of. Although I guess that's the default now that the Crystal Tower is required. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. Also, I probably should have just... screw it. I'll take the Aetheryte to the airstrip. Up. Alright, here they are. Throw Telfino, ready to go? The others have stepped out onto the landing for a moment, lest you wonder. Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of the man poking about in the workings of the ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Afno. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her sight. She and Yugiri are... well, they're here now. Right, I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Carteneau? Might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem we are to gain a clear It would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh? I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such a time as you have finished procrastinating. Alright, while Alphino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordona, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. My apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Yustola and the others forthwith and join you as soon as I'm able. Throat, pray accompany Alice back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guest. Right, everyone heading to Mordona is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. You're traveling with Master Garland, sir. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Oh, we're down here. Cool. What matter of airship has no private cabins? Then again, I suppose Garland has to find somewhere to stow his half-baked inventions. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in the Toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then? And that is a dead dragon right there. So, what do you have to say about this? I know Nero's a guest here, but we don't exactly have the happiest history with the Empire, do we? So my question to you is, do I offer him tea? You could lace it with something.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
LSA, if you would, please.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boilmaster, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
Take note of that name, because it's kind of important much later on. Trust me.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
You're not your normal chipper self. Which kind of makes sense.
By your leave!
Oh, hi.
Good gods, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker.
I love this guy.
You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Oh, you could say that.
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gozetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? You, Giddy? You draw steel against the curse of Garlemald?
Yeah.
Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
You can see why I love this guy. Oh. Throat, wait, could I speak to you for a moment? Oh god, do you want to take more measurements? As long as it's just you, though. Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. Oh, okay. You can try it on right now if you like. Okay. Ooh. Looking rather dapper. Do you have some black dye? Assuming we measure correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can tell how much this means. I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm to, bring you home. May it always protect you. I get a, nice little suit. And I think you can dye it, so I may go on ahead and just, find a dark purple dye or something. Alright. Well, that's gonna be good for, making a glamour set. Ooh, we get 2. So we have to wake Omega up, right? When do we start? Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well. I'll remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphino. Mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Y'shtola and Kryl? Fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartano expedition party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega while Throat, Ida, and our Doan friends take care of security. Oh, ho, ho, ho. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone's ready. I gotta change into something real quick before we actually depart. And since there's no inn here, I actually have to, go to my inn room back in La Nausicaa. Alright, so where do I go? I think I have to go up. To the Apt Castle. I don't want the leaves. I want the innkeep. There you are. Alright, glamour dresser. Wait, I wanted to edit glamour plates. Got that one, I've got that one. Let's remove that. Let's change that. Huh, I need to find some good gloves. Do I have any dyes that would work? I suppose I could dye it later. And yeah, I do need to find some good gloves. Get the air knives unequipped. Ooh, definitely not. Once I find a good set of knives, I'll Ooh, definitely not those. They look nice, but no. Save that one. Boom. Save. Oh, it doesn't go. Oh, poop. Alright, fine. Alright, let's go ahead and complete the change. I mean, I've still got these. I need to find some better gloves for this glam. So I did get 4 things. Oh, but the 4th thing was the monocle, and I don't want to really wear that, so yeah. Okay. This is what I'm going to be wearing going into Stormblood. I mean, I guess in between this stream and the next Final Fantasy XIV stream, I'll be finding some better gloves. Alright, back to Revenant's Soul. Oh, okay, it's a single-player duty. Will this contraption truly bear us through the skies? Gotetsu is an accomplished swordsman. Should it come to battle, he will prove a staunch ally. Would that I could say the same for Nero. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in the cart to know before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we had best be on our guard. Given the Alliance Royale was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence. And if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by this new primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. All right. I seriously need to find some gloves for this glam.
Now, where was that? Ah! I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland. Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it?
You have a boyish face.
It's like all my name days have come at once.
Is that
all the scouts the Empire could have sent? Take care of that brute, will you?
Is that Nero's hammer?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
Alright, here's the introduction.
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
The introduction of the samurai. All right, let's go on in and kick their asses.
It's all over now. Leave this to me.
'Tis my right to strike.
Did I stun you? Nope, you're immune to stuns. Good to know.
No retreat. No surrender.
Look upon a samurai of Doma.
You watching, Cavallero?
I did the wrong one again.
An opening.
I have you.
I'll take care of the little guys first.
Your defense is lacking.
I'll poop. Mid-fight cutscene. Surrender! We have you outnumbered. Wouldn't be the first time. Are you still playing with the soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. The hell's that supposed to mean? Oh! Magitech armor. And it's red like Nero's armor. Behold the Red Baron! Now end this nonsense. What the? No one told me they'd have Magitech armor. Forward, for the Empire! The honorless cur thinks to abandon his men. I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. Alright, I'm in armor. Let's go ahead and blast their asses.
It's all over now.
What's this third one? Diffracted Magitech Cannon. Oh, hi. Okay, that has cooldown.
I have you.
Oh, I see.
No holding back. No retreat. No surrender.
Ooh, that even got the big armor.
With soul and steel.
You watching, Pabaliro? Leave this to me.
Alright. Line them up.
Look upon a samurai of Doma.
Nice.
This one'll sting.
Your defense is lacking.
They're barely doing any damage to this thing.
'Tis my right to strike.
Alright, so I assume that's going to be good for getting rid of the Colossi.
An opening.
Oh. Okay, that's, So he's just a big pushover then.
I have you.
No holding back. No retreat. No surrender.
Oh, it didn't go off like I wanted.
With soul and steel.
You watching, Pabaliro?
I didn't know which one I pressed
Leave
first.
this to me.
There we go. As he runs off with a trail of yellow behind him. And a stain in his pants. Ah, so this is the control room.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously.
Oh. So we can't control it?
Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess, we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
God damn it, Nero.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
Is there any other way?
I suppose not. All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
Chill out, Wicked Witch of the West.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
Say hello to Shinryu. forgot about that cutscene. And they fly off. Looked like Omega crashed, though.
Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered the malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Nothing we could do right now. What?
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
The hell? I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I'm mean to find out. Let us be on our way. One moment everything was functioning perfectly, and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves, and soon. Hugh continues the attack, and Imperial will. The Far Edge of Fate. The final story quest if you're only on the trial version of the game. Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Yida, wait! We must first... The Elder Seatseer is expecting us. Worry not, Alphinaud. Kosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. I may try to buy some dress gloves off of the market board for the glam that I want for this outfit. Alright, time for some more aftermath. My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You are too kind, Elder Seatseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try, but tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. What words could do justice with such a scene? None of my choosing, that much is certain, but I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Girabania. Primal's might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and I hope to never see again. The battle raged on with no one in sight until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on the Alamican soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could only think of Bahamut when looking upon the Primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Godzilla, Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of Far Eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Girabania side of the border. Which is why we have set our main force under the command of Marshal Terrapin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have a perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council's adjourned. Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our lost contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis system, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would have taken them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed. I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Girabania. Though Ilberd has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp. You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. Yishtol and the others have gathered at Amerisiax's spire, and I imagine that you two would be interested to see what has become of the wall now that the cocoon is gone. It is decided then. Lead on. I am almost level 61 on my ninja.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilberd's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by a mega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She is up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhaps she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
Why did you never tell me?
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it.
So it was a fake Archon's mark.
So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
It was brave of Lise to remove her mask after so long. Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's loss, the one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she is resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell Tataru and my sister. Oh, credits. Okay. Alright. I can skip this and not miss a cutscene, so yeah. He may have mentioned, but Alphino has apprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lise has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Garabania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom, but indolence, correct? I, for one, look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect you. And now the post cutscene. Quick march. The Imperials will soon come to their senses, and we must be ready to face the retribution. It's almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bowl of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Very well, Bird. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Belsar's wall has fallen to the Eorzean Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown icon continues, though both yet elude us, my lord. The battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Oh, he looks bored. Forgive me, my lord. I did not intend. Your will be done. Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans call it Shinryu, and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to the eastern skies and behold the crimson hue. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. And this is where we leave things off. So, that's going to do it, YouTube. Thank you for watching, and take it easy. I'll see you later.